everyone, my name is Rihanna Wojcik, and today's presentation is on animal rescue and intake triage. This is my informative speech submission for Communications 101 Public Speaking. As some of you may remember from my introductory speech, I've been doing animal rescue for a long time. I have over 10 plus years of experience in the animal rescue field, and I've worked with countless licensed professional veterinarians and rescuers. So a common thing you see in animal rescue is triaging. Triaging is basically the medical stabilization of an animal that comes in, and this is usually through nutritional and fluid therapy, as well as wound care if needed. And this essentially just stabilizes the animal until they can be seen by a proper veterinarian. One of the animals, good example I have of triaging an animal or intake is a rescue called Charbel. So Charbel came to us severely emaciated and dehydrated, and our veterinarian was not open for like another week, and if he didn't receive care immediately, he would have died. So we were able to stabilize him through fluids, force feeding, and B12 injections, and some medications that we had on hand until he was able to be seen by the vet. And today he is a very happy cat in a very loving home. So what is animal rescue and why is it important? Well, according to the ASPCA, every year millions of animals end up in the shelter, and unfortunately, depending on the severity of these cases, a lot of these animals are euthanized if they're too sick or injured, or they're too young to be taken care of, and because unfortunately there's not enough volunteers at the shelter. So what animal rescue is the independent. We take in animals from the rescue or off the street that are usually very sick, malnourished, or injured, and we give them that care ourselves. And this is very important because it saves lives and gives these animals a second chance and provides care for abandoned, injured, orphan animals, and in turn, we can turn these animals into happy, loving, adoptable pets for humans, and companionship for both animals and humans that improves the welfare for both, and it's just a happy ending. So according to Saunders Small Animal Emergency and Critical Care for Veterinary Technicians, for a physical assessment of an intake, so triaging, you're going to want to check their body conditioning, TPR, which is temperature, pulse, and respiratory. You're going to want to check their hydration levels. You're going to want to monitor their behavior. Unfortunately, you have some animals that come in with neurological or behavioral issues from an injury or from prior treatment, neglect, or abuse. And also palpating the body to see if there are any internal bleeding or possible broken bones or injuries. If the animal yelps, you know something's wrong. As I mentioned, one of the things we do in triaging is provide hydration or check their hydration levels. If an animal is dehydrated, what we usually do is we provide them with subcutaneous fluids, also known as lactated ringers. And what this does is it contains sodium chloride, potassium chloride, calcium chloride, and sodium lactate, sodium lactate, which are essential electrolytes just to help get the body into better condition while trying to stabilize them. And this is very important because improper hydration can lead to kidney failure, which in turn can lead to organ failure, which is a very sad and unfortunate way to die. So when administering subcutaneous fluids, we always want to make sure that the environment and the equipment that we're using is sterile, so you're always going to want to have a fresh, sterile needle when you're administering subcu fluids. And you're also going to want a pair of helping hands. That way the animal doesn't bolt, nobody gets hurt. That the way they can hold down the animal if they're being a little wiggly. Dosage for your subcu fluids depends on the species, their weight, their size, and also their condition. If an animal isn't that dehydrated, you're not going to want to give as much. So for a normal cat that's about 13 to 15 pounds, you're going to want to give about 100 cc's of subcu fluids. So also, an important note for administering subcu is you do not want to give subcu to people. Subcu is only for animals. Humans receive fluids through intravenously. You don't want to give subcu to humans. It's not going to end well for anybody, and it's going to look very concerning to have this giant bulging fluidy sac on your arm or neck or wherever someone decides to stick you a needle with. According to Dr. Bichard-Sherling in Sanders' Manual of Small Animal Practice. Some of the more common diseases or illnesses or problems you'll see in rescues is you're going to see severe dehydration and malnutrition. So they're going to be very emaciated, very skinny. You'll also see cases where they have injuries such as lacerations, burns, broken bones. There could also be infection, secondary infection from those injuries, or respiratory infections, gastrointestinal issues, which can lead to a lot of other problems, dental issues, so that could be a reason why they're very skinny, they can't eat enough. You'll also see behavioral issues, again, that could be from neurological damage or prior abuse, and also parasites, so fleas, mites, ticks, worms. So the use of personal protection equipment and isolation, especially if you have other animals in the house, is very important, as this can prevent the spread of disease from humans to animals, because you do have zoonotic viruses. Overall, the reality of animal rescue is that it is very emotionally exhausting. It has its highs and it has its lows. You can't save them all. You are going to win some, you're going to lose some. You're also going to see the very ugly side of humanity. I've seen very horrific cases of animal abuse and neglect, and you're really going to wonder why. How could people do that to another living creature? Animal rescue is also financially draining. If you go into animal rescue, you're going to be broke and you're not going to have a social life. But at the end of the day, it's absolutely worth it. Animal rescue is essentially saving lives, and knowing that you saved lives makes everything worth it. So animal rescue saves lives, and knowing how to properly triage helps you save lives and save money, because again, what you can do, the vet doesn't have to do or charge you for. Although rescues, again, do still need to be seen by a professional licensed veterinarian. Nothing can replace proper medical care when it comes to animal rescue. Note I'd like to share with you all today is, for those of you who are considering adopting or getting a pet, please do your research beforehand. Impulse buys are a reason why we have so many animals in the shelter, and it's very unfair to the animal. They didn't ask to be impulse bought from a store and then abandoned at the shelter because whoever took them in didn't know how to properly care for them. And for those of you who do have animals, please make sure that they can escape. Again, we have so many animals in the shelter because they unfortunately got out. And again, final note, adopt, don't shop. It's always better to adopt. Every animal deserves a second chance. And on that note, I'd like to leave you with a quote from animal activist Jean Bauer, and that is, "It is a small thing to help an animal, but to that animal, it's a big thing and means the world." Thank you all for watching, and I look forward to listening and watching all of your submissions. Bye!